fight for safety, fight for justice. And if you're up and against a rich and powerful lobby, don't be deterred. And if you're a group who's been affected, get together, you can fight them. First and foremost, I would say the courts are very accused friendly. It's an accused centric system. It is not a victim centric system. Although the courts are there only for the victims, unless there is a victim of crime, whom are you going to try? And it's very unfortunate that the victims are eclipsed from our criminal justice system. We have no say in the criminal trial where the witnesses are being examined, cross-examined. We can only assist the public prosecutor. Of course, the amendment came around in 2008 where they said you can assist, you can be filing an appeal in the High Court. But I want to ask the lawmakers, if you're building a house, if your foundation is very weak, how do you plan to make an 8 or 10-story house? It's going to just fall apart. So let them give a place to the victims at the time of trial itself. Twice convicted, and both the time they've been allowed to walk free. Why? They're too old, or they have too much of money? There are a lot of old people who are languishing behind bars. Let's see Stan Swamy. He was an under trial. He was not even a convict. Why was the law of the land not just the same for the rich and powerful? Our own Chief Justice said this, that we have two parallel legal systems in our country, one for the rich and one for the ordinary citizens. Except my sister, nobody else stood by us. Nobody believed in what we were doing. Nobody believed. It was a decision that me and Shekhar had taken, and as long as he was by my side, that's all that mattered. We didn't anticipate that the atmosphere in the courts is going to be hostile, so hostile that it's difficult for an ordinary person to be there. I wasn't prepared for all the threats and abuses that were hurled at me. The worst they could have done was to kill us, and they can still do it. But then who wants to live? After losing our children, we became very fearless. Did I have another choice apart from going to the court, or I should have just gone back and sat at home? No, I don't think my children would have approved of it. Since I had promised my children I will get justice for them, I decided to continue the fight. And surprisingly, the faith in the judicial system was restored on 9th November 2021, when the Metropolitan Magistrate of Patiala House Court convicted Ansals for tampering with evidence. But it was very short-lived, because again in July 22, the session judge, when deciding the appeal, upheld the conviction, and then he allowed them to walk free. Actually, I was quite against the book being adapted for a web series or a film. Of course, after losing my children for watching a film, there was no condolences from the entire film industry. There was absolute silence. But Shekhar and one or two more people whom I'm close to told me we should let it be adapted because it can be an inspirational story. It can tell people a lot of things. So I see there are 2-3 takeaways from this. One is the younger generation didn't even know what happened in Ubhar, how people died. So now they've all realized this was a violation of fire safety measures. And what I'm seeing on the social media is people are going to start demanding fire safety in public spaces wherever they go. And number two, that how the judiciary has failed to deliver justice. I think that's a very important thing. I don't think it happens anywhere in the world that after convicting people you allow them to walk free. The investigation was transferred from crime branch to CBI, suo motu by the government. We all know CBI comes under the Prime Minister's office. We as victims did not ask for a transfer of the case from Delhi police to CBI. because the Delhi police was doing a good job. They just arrested Sushil Ansal and his son Pranav Ansal from Bombay, and when they were brought here, the very next thing we know, the case was transferred from crime branch to CBI. This was done to enable Ansal's getting bail, and also the charges was mellowed down. If this isn't political interference, what else is? Avut was the first organization to move the High Court under Article 226, and under that compensation was awarded. And of course, it opened floodgates for a whole lot of litigants in our country, and I'm glad it happened. Number two, there were no ambulances in Delhi when this happened. We've got a lot of ambulances. And of course, there have been a lot of change. I mean, there are changes in the fire safety measures. They're not up to standard, but at least it's better than not having anything at all. And this I learned because when I went to attend the panel, this program by these NAFO people, and met these people from the fire department from all over the country, and sharing with them that I feel I've failed in bringing about the changes that I wanted to, and make fire safety an important issue. And I was told that no ma'am, don't say that, because it is because of you. There have been a lot of changes, and we owe that to you. So I think that was a big takeaway from it.